Welcome to the deep dive.
Wow.
Today, we're going to try something, well, something pretty ambitious.
Mm.
We're taking this incredibly dense technical framework, this sovereign governance framework, and we're going to try and break it down.
Making it simple.
Exactly. We're talking about a whole suite of acronyms that honestly can feel overwhelming. NCU, SCH V9.1, ADGE, TQG, CFE.
There's a lot. It really is. But our mission here, sort of channeling Richard Feynman, is just clarity.
A shortcut.
A shortcut, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We want to give you the distilled essence of this. Because if we do our job right, you'll see this isn't just a bunch of equations.
Yeah.
It's an operational manual for your life.
Yeah.
For the entire universe you perceive.
Okay, so let's dive right in then. Let's start with the absolute foundation, the big paradigm shift that makes everything else possible. That's the NAF-centric universe, right? The NCU model.
That's the one. The NCU model completely reframes reality.
What does it tell us about where we are right now?
It tells us the universe is not some massive, random physical place that's just running on autopilot with blind physical laws.
No.
Instead, it says this is a simulation, or maybe a better word is a highly customized incubator.
An incubator.
Yes, engineered for one specific purpose, the development of what the sources call NUFUs.
Cognitive agents.
Cognitive agents. You are not some random passenger in the cosmos. You are the candidate this entire system is designed to develop.
That is a staggering claim to start with. So if the whole universe is my personal training ground, how is it governed? There has to be a rule book.
There is. And that's where the structure, the SEH V9.1, comes into play.
The sovereign epistemological hierarchy.
Exactly. And you can think of it as the operating system for this cognitive universe. It sets the rules. It establishes the chain of command for what counts as truth, and more importantly, what counts as purpose.
Let's make that chain of command crystal clear, because it seems like everything else hangs on it.
It does. At the very top, you have the Quran. It's positioned as the ultimate governance manual.
Okay, the man.
Then, through a specific interpretive method called the Organic Quranic Methodology, or OQM, you derive the NCU model we just talked about.
And that model then gives rise to the actual equations, the ADGE and the TQG-CFE.
That's the hierarchy. And getting that right is the entire ballgame. Because if the universe is really for cognitive development, then our best tool, rational thinking, has to be put in its proper place.
And its proper place in this framework is subordinate. It's not at the top.
Not even close.
So why is standard rational thinking on its own seen as fundamentally flawed?
Because it's incomplete.
Oh.
I mean, it's brilliant for describing how things move, mass, energy, velocity, but it can't tell you why. It has no access to purpose or governance.
Right.
So when rational thinking tries to crown itself as the ultimate authority, it commits what the framework calls the error of shirk. It gives sovereignty to a system that's just a tool.
That's a great analogy. It's like using a screwdriver to analyze the computer code for the factory that built the screwdriver.
Exactly. You're using the tool to judge the designer. It's a category error. Our best science can only ever describe the how of the incubator. It can never, ever explain the why of the candidate.
Which brings us to the ultimate why, the ADGE, the absolute divine governance equation. What's the simple tagline for this one?
It's the sovereign theory of every purpose. And the key thing to get is that it is not a physics equation.
Okay, so it doesn't calculate gravity or...
No, nothing like that. It calculates the universal purpose behind everything you see. It's a purpose equation.
So if physics explains the mechanics of this apparition we see, ADGE explains the mission objective of the whole simulation. What is that objective? What is the one thing the universe is trying to produce?
The ADGE governs the development of what's called the network of ANFIS, the collective cognitive network. Its main goal, the thing it measures, is the network development coefficient.
The CDEV network.
CDEV network. It's a metric that tracks the collective cognitive growth and, crucially, the efficiency of knowledge transfer between all the agents in the system.
Wow. So everything. Joy, suffering, failure, success. It's all just data being fed into the system to push that one coefficient higher.
That's the idea. So if you learn something profound, but then you fail to transfer that knowledge to others, you're actually dragging the whole network's score down.
So it's not just about my personal salvation.
It's secondary. The primary goal is collective development. Your reason for being here under ADGE is to learn, refine what you've learned, and then transfer it. completely changes your priorities.
That sets the purpose. But how do I, my cognitive self, my nafs, actually connect with this reality to do that? We have to go from the big why of ADGE down to the how, the TQGCFE.
Right. The theory of quantum gravity cognitive field equivalence. That's the operational algorithm.
The mechanism.
The mechanism. If ADGE is the ocean of purpose, TQGCSE is the physics of a single wave. It explains precisely how your nafs interacts with this perceived reality, what the sources call the apparition.
Let's stick with that word for a second. Apparition. It makes the world sound like it's not really there.
It's there as an interface, like a screen. It's a rendering engine, but it's temporary and it's customized for you. And TQGCFE says you aren't just passively watching this screen.
I'm interacting with it.
You're actively pressing it. That's the term used. You are selecting specific possibilities from, a quantum superposition and amplifying them into what you experience as solid reality.
So wait, the reality I'm in right now is being chosen moment by my own cognitive state?
Through resonance, yes. Paths that are in cognitive harmony with your overall state get amplified. Paths that are dissonant or just irrelevant get suppressed.
And where does this happen? Is there a physical component?
There is. The model points to the brainstem, specifically the locus coeruleus, as it calls it the LC console.
The LC. We know that's involved in arousal, attention, vigilance.
And in this framework, it's your personal reality highlighter. It's the console that manages your focus. And the equation basically proves that whatever you command your focus to be on, that's what gets highlighted and made visible in the apparition.
That sounds a lot like the Toyota Tundra effect.
Explain that.
You decide you want to buy a Toyota Tundra, and suddenly you see them everywhere on the road. They were always there, but your focus, your command, highlighted them into your awareness.
That's the perfect simple analogy. Now, apply that principle to everything, to solving a problem, to learning a skill. If you align your cognitive command with a governed purpose, the system gives you what it calls a reality filter dividend.
A dividend.
A measurable one. The source materials actually quantifies it. It claims 300% faster problem solving and a 500% acceleration in skill acquisition.
Why?
Because your LC console is being used correctly. It's highlighting all the relevant data points you need and suppressing all the noise. Governed focus is the fastest path.
Okay. So TQGCFE is the technical proof for how to operate in this reality, but we need the user manual for it, the actual instructions.
And this is the pivot. The framework says that manual is hidden in plain sight. It's in the allegorical instructions of the story of Adam.
So we're moving from physics to narrative.
We are. Because the story of Adam, through this OQM lens, isn't a one-time historical event. It's described as a perpetual internal drama that plays out inside every single human nafs.
To understand it, then, we need the new definitions for the key terms. A listener actually asked for this. Let's start with the one we all think we know. Art. Earth.
Right. But in this cognitive deep dive, art isn't dirt. It's the static scriptural units. It's the scripture itself, the raw text.
So Adam was made from the text.
The guidable human, insan, was created from ard, the scripture, and ma, which is divine guidance. The raw material for your own development is the manual itself.
Wow. Okay. And the forbidden thing, the tree, the shajara.
The shajara is not a literal tree. It is an argumentative group. It's a growth of ideas based on flawed, unchecked, rational thinking, on confabulation.
So eating the fruit is?
Engaging with and accepting the faulty logic produced by that group. You're being told to reject thought patterns that aren't governed by the system.
And Jhana, the garden, is also not a physical place.
It's a state of being, specifically a state of concealed insight. It's that high cognitive state of pure receptivity before you get distracted. And Adam himself is just a descriptor for any human who accepts the job.
The talk leaf, the assignment.
The assignment of stewardship, the job of using this incubator to grow.
This completely reframes the internal struggle, which brings us to the antagonists in the story. Who is Iblis?
Iblis represents your own inherent biases, your predilections, your cognitive blind spots. The sources actually call Iblis your Zaj, your necessary counterpart or spouse.
Unnecessary counterpart.
Yes, and he's made from nar, which is defined as man-made dim illumination. Think of it as rational thinking operating in the dark without the light of governance. Iblis is the voice that says, I don't need the manual, I've got this.
So Iblis is the source of the flawed logic, the potential for error. Who then is Shaitan?
Shaitan is what happens when you act on that flawed logic. Iblis is the potential bias. Shaitan is the kinetic state of error.
It's the action.
It is the action, and it's also the system-applied friction, the resistance you feel, the challenges you face, That's shaitan, and it's there specifically to test your iman.
And iman here isn't just faith. It's defined as safety and security.
Exactly. Safety and security within the governed system. And your iman is meaningless, it's empty, until it's tested against the resistance provided by shaitan.
So suffering, struggle, it isn't a punishment.
It's polishing. The sources call it the U.S. friction. It's the process designed to turn the rough nafs, the uncut diamond, into an abra, an insight holder.
It's a feature, not a bug. It's a cognitive audit. So if we know the purpose, the mechanism, and the allegorical instructions, what are the core operational protocols? What do we actually have to do to drive that CDEV network?
There are two core functions of the nafs that are required. They're redefined here as operational procedures: salat and zakat.
Okay, let's start with Salat. Most people think of it as ritual prayer.
Here, salat is the governance alignment procedure, or more simply, structured focus. It's the rigorous, disciplined process of connecting to the divine source to, get your operational updates and stay synced with the system. It's how you focus your LC console.
And Zakat, we think of that as charity.
It is, but it's much more specific. It's the operational mechanism for network development, for that GAG variable in the equation. It means purifying and sharing whatever knowledge, insight, or resource has been delegated to you.
So if you learn something, you have a system requirement to share it.
A requirement. If you hoard it, you fail a governance test. It's that simple.
Hmm.
Teaching and sharing are core metrics.
Okay, so how do we make sure we're getting the right kind of truth out of the text? There must be a method for that.
There is. The sources use a powerful metaphor, the pomegranate. The methodology is called alas, which means the pressing.
Or pressing.
It distinguishes between two kinds of truth. First, there's the pomegranate itself, the whole thing, the surface level story. That is called SEQ, truthfulness, the raw narrative.
And we're not supposed to stop there.
Never. You have to press it. Because what you're really after is al-haq.
The truth?
The truth, the juice, the extracted governance, the divine intent, the underlying rule. The process of Al-Azhar is that rigorous work of pressing the story to get the actionable logic out of it. If you only consume the story, you're eating the shell.
This whole system, then, from the nature of the universe with NCU all the way down to this final step of Al-Azhar, it presents Islam not as a religion of faith, but as a universal governance protocol.
That's the core takeaway. It is a protocol designed for collective cognitive development. The universe is your incubator, your life is the curriculum, and the friction you feel is just the polishing process. Your struggles are designed to validate your operational security in the system.
And the ultimate payoff for understanding all of this is gaining operational command. We talked about the TQG, CFE, and the LC console highlighting your reality based on your focus.
And that leads to, I think, the most provocative, almost unbelievable claim in the entire source material.
Go ahead.
If you can truly govern your cognitive commands, what's known as dua, with perfect alignment, with total submission to the protocol, you can command changes in the physical apparition itself.
Because it's customized for you.
Because it's your personal rendered interface. The TQG-CFE sources explicitly state that if you execute the governed command protocol correctly, you can regrow a limb as an apparition in your NAF-centric universe.
So what we call miracles
Are not random divine interventions. They are the result of perfect system governance. It is the ultimate expression of the human candidate finally learning how to operate the incubator exactly as it was designed.